What's up, everybody? I'm back again with another review. Before I start, I want to apologize to everybody for the technical difficulties I had trying to upload the Pink Floyd Dark Side of the Moon review. And finally, I got this shit working. So I'm going to go straight forward with these reviews, straightforward, all these stuff, you know what I'm saying? Alright, so I'm going to review Kool G Rap and DJ Polo, Live and Let Die, released in 1992 on the Culture and Warner Brothers Records. This is actually the last studio album they both did together. You guys should know who these guys are. I shouldn't be telling you who Kool G Rap and DJ Polo are. But in case you don't know, they're like a MC DJ duo, I believe, from Queens. Wait, are they from Queens? Give me a minute. Yeah, Queens. Yeah, they got together because they were under the Juice Crew, and the Juice Crew basically is one of the most highly acclaimed supergroups in hip hop history. Master Ace, Big Daddy Kane, Big Biz Marquee, Foxy and Shantae, MC Shan, Craig G, Tragedy Gaddafi, the list goes on and on and on. Or he was known as the intelligent hoodlum around the time. So they got together and they dropped their first. They hooked up with Mr. Magic and DJ Marley Marl, and they released their recorded demo. The song, ironically called "It's a Demo," and so that got them exposure on Mr. Magic's Rap Attack. And also in 1989 they dropped their first. Oh, actually, excuse me. They appeared on Kool G Rap appeared on the Symphony on Marley Marl's In Control Volume 1, which was like a classic album in the golden age of hip hop. I need to get my hands on that album, but that album was very hard to come by. But I know they re-released that album. Then fast forward to 1989, they dropped Road to the Riches. Now, Road to the Riches, that was what many people have called the first mafioso hip hop album. And like that album was very influential and shit. Fast forward to 1990, they dropped what many people consider I consider the best album, Wanted Dead or Alive. That album is just really dark, but at the same time, they were talking about it was mafioso rap, but had a conscious hip hop style with it. Very dope album. I love that album. Large Professor, he did most of the production on that album. And like Large Professor, between like 1990 and 91, like he was producing Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em, this Wanted Dead or Alive, and then he produced of course everyone knows the main source Breaking Atoms and shit. Because I believe he was actually Paul C's, rest in peace Paul C, protege, and he kind of finished Paul C's production work on Wanted Dead or Alive. I'm getting way off topic. Then 1991, this album was originally supposed to be released in 1991, but this album kind of had a lot of controversy. Alright, so for one, look at this album cover. You have Kool G Rap and Polo robbing some people in this bank, and like these guys like hanging themselves and shit. And you have the Rottweilers or some shit right here. So yeah, like Warner Brothers, they were not having that. Cause this also around the time like Warner Brothers were going through a lot of controversy between 91 and 92. For one, Biz Marquee, he was I think the first rapper sued for sampling, I believe, yeah. And Ice-T and his heavy metal group Body Count, they dropped Cop Killer in 1992. Wait, was it 1992? Yeah. And so, also, the original version of this album, from what I looked up, this is not the original version of the album. The original version, I think the heads of Coach Chim, they wanted him to rewrite it because it was way too dark and all that stuff, way too dark and way too grimy for the mainstream. And also, so Kool G had to rewrite the whole album. And also, Eric B and Kool G Rap, they actually got into it after the release of the Wanted Dead or Alive, because I mentioned this before with the Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em review, how Eric B was not, was, a lot of people say Eric B did not produce a dime, did not produce anything and Let the Rhythm Hit 'Em. It was mostly like Rakim, Large Professor, and so on and so on. Yeah. And so also, this album was not released till late 1992, and here it is. Now, one thing you might notice, the first thing you might notice about the album is the production. But the production has more of a West Coast feel to it, because like a lot of people have said this like the East Coast equivalent to America's Most Wanted by Ice Cube. But the America's Most Wanted even had a West Coast sound, so that was kind of that's very dope right there in my opinion. Very, very dope. And also, production include Sir Jinx, Ice Cube's cousin, Kool G Rap, of course, and the track masters. Let's notice the track masters. You guys might know the track masters because they produced for hella people like in the mid-90s, like LL Cool J, Mary J. Blige, Jay-Z, Will Smith, so on and so on. The production you hear, Foxy, of course, Foxy Brown too. Now the style of production the track masters use, it's different because early in their career, their production was like more darker, more grittier. I'm gonna get into that in a minute. And I like the fact that Sir Jinx actually helped produce this album too. So yeah, Sir Jinx is a very underrated producer. Now guest appearances include Big Daddy Kane, Scarface, Bushwick Bill, and Ice Cube. Right. Alright, I'm gonna take you inside the inside booklet. This is Kool G Rap. Just basically who produced what and all that stuff. And you have a picture of Kool G Rap and Polo just chilling and shit. Now I'm gonna get right into the album. Track number 1 is basically the intro. Nothing to it, just really sets the whole tone of the album and all that shit. Yeah. Track number 2, On the Run. Okay. Now, if you may notice, this is not the same as the video version. For one, I like the video version way better than the album version because of the beat, and I feel like the beat really does fit this album. But that does not take away anything from the album version. Alright. Basically, what I got from the song is Kool G Rap getting into the mob, and then just when he was trying to leave, he gets put on the run and shit like that. And so it ends up with like the shootout at a gas station. So that's one thing I love about Kool G Rap. This dude is a master storyteller. These guys talk about Biggie, Slick Rick, Scarface. Hell, even Scarface does not get the praise he deserves when it comes to storytelling. But see, Kool G Rap, he's basically out of this league, like ahead of his own time, and this whole album is the definition of cinematic storytelling in hip hop. Good song, On the Run. Track number 3, Live and Let Die, my favorite song off this album. Cause I grew up on the fast lane. See my pops ran and others, and my mom's held the blackjack games. Now I'm able to leave the cradle. I don't remember the dinners, only the kilos on my kitchen table. Sitting right beside a pistol. And I'm watching my pops pick up bricks, man, out of crystal. While he was counting the green, I seen nothing but strainers, containers, gallons of rocks on a triple beam. People was too afraid to stick him up because he had the most notorious brothers to come and pick him up. When I reached 10 years old, I never recalled. Alright. Live and that's definitely my favorite song off this album for a number of reasons. One, like I mentioned before, very very good storytelling by G Rap and shit like that. Two, that beat is just, oh my god, that I love the way how they add like the little synthesizer sound to that beat, like that. I mean, like I was like, and his flow just kind of changed up a little bit, and I was like, damn, this was released in 1992. Jesus Christ! I mean, this is amazing, amazing song right there. This song's basically about what is the song about? Okay, so it starts off with this skit about she rapping shit with these niggas, and he gets a phone call from one of his dudes, and dude was like, "Who you with?" He's like, he's with this one particular dude, and he was like, "Does this dude have like a tattoo or something?" And what was it? A certain type of cigarette. I think it was a Newport cigarette, if I'm not mistaken. And so yeah, and so he's an undercover cop. So next thing you know, G Rap kills a motherfucker on spot. And then fast forward, you hear like these kids playing, and then all of a sudden you hear the TV changing, and then the news report says stuff like there was a cop's body floating on the river, and then Kool G Rap just goes in. Like, you talking about the violent, excuse me, that's my phone. Talking about the violence in like New York and shit like that. Very, very good song right there. Classic song. Track number 4, Crime Pays.
The security we have here today, not the open security, the ones that really sit there and really think we don't know who they are. Some don't pay, that's what they tell us, but that's because the other motherfuckers getting jealous. But I'ma tell you this, they neighborhood got the good fellas, but they come up before the claims that they sell us. Cause they don't wanna see a young black nigga rolling inside a nice car, nice kid, without the shit being stolen. So they come and lock a nigga up. Meanwhile, some corrupt politician nigga is making bigger bucks. Niggas getting blamed for the crystal, but we done go to motherfucking fuck and we done make the fucking pistols. Niggas ain't.
Alright, so this is basically like the closest you would ever hear Kool G Rap doing like a conscious. Well, actually scratch that. This is probably like one of the few conscious songs aside from a couple of tracks from Wanted Dead or Alive from Kool G Rap. Alright, basically Crime Pays, self-explanatory, talking about how living the crime life isn't all that's cracked up to be. Oh shit. Damn, excuse me. I don't know what just happened. Basically saying living the crime life isn't all that's cracked up to be. That's basically what the song is about. And crime ain't everything. Okay, track number 5, Home Sweet Home.
They got so many corners and they got so many spots, and I can't even bother the block. But I think, yo man, what you got? I'm walking past somebody looking strange. He's looking for a hit for his veins, and he'll blow out somebody's brains. Even the shorties living naughty lives, walking around, even drive around the big 45s. I just went out the candy store, the front. They walk in the candy store, man, you can't be far from what they want. You might see a pickle or a popsicle, but if you step to the back, you get down 20.
Alright, Home Sweet Home. Another good song. Talking about like selling drugs in his own. He's talking about basically selling drugs in his own home and shit like that. Track number 6, Train Robbery.
Stairs straight through the turnstile. I smile, but I'm waiting in the station for the 7 to turn it wild. Me and my 2 shorties, cause I'm 40s. We're about to rob and steal and get real fucking naughty. Who carries a 3 pound, the other a 4/5. Both ready to buck and ain't nothing to be fucked with. It's dark and it's midnight, the police in dead sight. You do the fucking turn when I see moving headlights. Fuck fuck it, I got my Beretta back and put my hood on. My shorty's a game, I got the same shit they put on. Patiently we're waiting for the doors to open. Got on the train, but come from God, but not too far. I'm starting to smoke.
Classic Kool G Rap right here. One of my favorite songs off this album. He talking about he and his homeboys, they're about to do a train robbery, and they basically like describing every little event that happens in that train robbery. And this is another perfect example of Kool G Rap's graphic storytelling. Like, this is the type of shit. This is the type of shit like even Scarface will fucking like. This type of shit like Scarface. Like, I'm not talking about the rapper, like the movie Scarface. Like shit like that. Like personify like the mob or some shit. Very good song right here. Next song is number one with the Bullet featuring Big Daddy Kane. You guys heard that before.
The last time I caught a body, it was recent. Give me your HK for an ass clips and I take on a briefing. Yeah, the murder rate is on a rise. With niggas like me, steady popping niggas and dropping like flies. You get them, but when I hit them hard. The beat don't get well crossed. Niggas straight to the motherfucking graveyard. You need to wanna get them done. They're picking them on and making them up and hit them up in front. He thought them bullet hit me, but didn't get none. You better run some of them, you get to get the gun. Yo, murder me, you must ain't heard of me. And if you get rushed to emergency and shooting niggas in surgery, another nigga life is took. I'll be at your wake, motherfucker, signing my name on that book. It's something more than another body freezes. It's one more bitch nigga that'll sit to meet Jesus. Bring on the truth, I hope the bitches saw Scarface, cause I'ma send them to the morgue. 6 feet under, getting them out from the ground war. Cause I'm the wrong brother to push. When put to the chest, I go to war like George Bush. And I got a block, Mr. Gill, the landlord of the morgue. Now who need a place to live? I'm up with something in the scene that is better.
Alright, what's the song? Train robbery. No, excuse me. Number one with the Bullet. First of all, very, very good beat. I love the beat. Sergeant and Kool G Rap did their thing. And I always love it when Kool G Rap and Big Daddy can rap together. I don't know, they just have that dope ass chemistry, like them going back and forth. Big Daddy Kane, he stole the show. He basically just stole the whole show in my opinion. And one thing I loved, and this is at a time when Kane, his career was going a little downhill around, because he came out with that Prince of Darkness album, which was an album I'm not that big of a fan of, but I'm gonna save my thoughts on that to deliver a full-length review on that, so stay tuned. But like, yeah, very dope rapping right there. One of my favorites off this album, one of my many favorites. Alright, next song is Operation CB, aka Operation Cock Blocking.
Every 11 minutes across the USA, a man is victim of cock blocking. This action usually results in broken friendships. The following is an example.
Hey yo, Jake, this girl will be here in a minute. The bitch got a nice ass and I'm trying to get in it. Cool, that's alright, but why you telling me this shit? To make sure you don't mind chilling out while I hit. Nah, nigga, I just turn on the TV set, get paid, hit the scams, get some pussy, get your dick wet. Alright, bet, because my dick is hard as hell. The bitch is ringing on my bell. Open the door, what's up, babe? Yo, come on in. Here, take a seat. I'll introduce you to my friend. Now, everything is going to court. I'm playing your James. This is Debbie. This is James, my man. I went to the closet, hung up a cup, put up a hat. Yo, James, later, nigga.
Okay, so it's like a very funny kind of song. And it's talking about he's about to have sex with this badass girl. And next thing you know, just when things are getting good, somehow, some way, somebody just cock blocks or just ruins everything for him. And so this is just another, it's like a sex track. It's like a funny sex track, if you know that makes sense. Track number 9, Straight Jacket. Straight Jacket. Probably one of the darkest tracks off this album. Basically what I got from this song was it talks about this vivid story of a crazy person and stuff like that. It's like basically a horrorcore song. Ill Street Blues is the next song. That's Trackmaster's beat. And this beat kind of sounds like it could also be from the Real Roxanne's first album. Because the Real Roxanne, I forgot her first album, what the name of it. But Trackmaster, they did some stuff on that too. This is actually the first song I've actually heard. The first Kool G Rap song I actually heard. And this song's talking about how he tried to put a hit on someone who's a drug addict, but ends up going wrong and shit. And that's the first verse. Second verse is probably my favorite verse from Kool G Rap. Like, he starts out by saying, "Suckers are clubber because my town is full of cops and robbers, and not promised tomorrow in this little shop of horrors. So I got to get with the business and hit quick. When he grips, pockets looking thick, so I stick slick." I'm like, oh my damn. This is just the way he uses his words is just, I've never heard an MC like have that very good wordplay. So the second verse is talking about how Kool G Rap is doing all these kind of crimes for money, just for the hell of it. That's basically just for the hell of it. And he feels like he can't be touched. He feels like he's so unstoppable, and no one can touch him when he's doing these crimes. And so the third verse is just that Kool G Rap is getting into trouble with all the crimes he's done, and so his boss is trying to put like a hit out on him. And he's trying to put a hit on him. So dope, very dope song right there. Track number 11, Go For Your Guns. Yeah, that's a pretty solid song. Not one of my favorites, but not a bad song in general. Okay, next song is Letters.
Hold up. Hold the fuck up for a minute. Hey, yo, Jakes, man. Hey, yo, whoever one of those funky ass motherfuckers.
Letters, basically him doing classic wordplay, has like a lot of dope metaphors in it. You have to hear it to believe it. So next song is Enough Said.
Here's the motherfucking magnificent. I'll leave it back. thinking that shit is dead. Tell it to the motherfucking mortician to get ready to let the lead out. I'm knocking niggas dead out and blowing the back of your fucking head out. Cooking niggas better than mother's dinner to let the drama enter. I'm sending niggas to the trauma center because I'm all over force. Tearing niggas out the frame like they was bitches ever pissed out the force. Force, so come on nigga, get wild and loose. I'll whip your motherfucking ass and get arrested for child abuse. Even your bitch can get a nigga. I shut the barrel of banana, but behind it pull a fucking trigger. Go a second like no my bass.
Okay, so this song, enough said. Another solid song right there. Pretty good. I love the beat. The beat to that was amazing. I mean, the beat kind of sounds like something you would hear maybe from Ice Cube's Death Certificate, or even from Del the Funky Homo Sapiens. I Wish My Brother George Was Here. Okay, number 14, Edge of Sanity. Yes, another kind of like a socially conscious song with a hardcore edge to it. What I got from this song is how one individual can go crazy by society, or how society can influence somebody and make themselves go crazy. Very, very good song right there. Next song, Fuck You Man.
Since I make the record talk like sex, bitches are coming up with their friends for a nigga to hit scans. Hoping the Kool G Rap just making rhymes, but I'm leaving bitches vaginas with more stitches than Frankenstein. Some even have the nerve to try to give me head. It's swallow the whole Jimmy to make a nigga fed. But come on, you bitches, don't make me laugh. You couldn't do dope G Rap if he was a motherfucking giraffe. Dead, some even fled when they saw the head. Cause he's dick when they can see shit fucking me in a waterbed. Don't try to play me like no sucker. Cause these bitches up be calling up Dynamite just like a motherfucker. You heard the song before, you don't wanna see me. I fuck you on the A-train while I write graffiti. I'll even fuck you in a taxi cab. And after sex with a nigga, you'll be buying a box of maxi bags. Soon as you open your legs, no need for no birth control, bitch, cause my dick is touching the egg. Kool G Rap, the pussy slammer. I'll have you talking fucked up grammar if you was bad mamma jammer. I ain't small, I have to coming like waterfalls. If they're trying to sugar balls into Carnegie Hall, leave them on off the hookers like Zara. Plus fucking bitches that death like there won't be no pussy left tomorrow.
Alright, Fuck You Man, that song was pretty good, pretty alright. Track number 16, still Wanted Dead or Alive.
When I hit even a 9 on a pound spit, I even flipped on a mob I was down with. So I'm packing the Mac at night and blew up whites everywhere in the nigga sight. So come on, you little pieces of bravest, cause I'ma spit on your ass like Larry Davis. Pumping them on something decent. Jump out slow and drop the cocktail bomb in a precinct. And drop 10 with the Glock 10. I'm in another cop spin. My Uncle Sam really wants me, but I'ma hit some more spots than I'm flying out the country. It ain't about running off like a sucker. I've done my own payback, this motherfucker. So I gotta hustle and gamble. But before I split, believe I'm leaving shit in shambles. It's a long way ride, but a nigga gotta survive.
Yeah, that song was like a sequel to the song Wanted Dead Alive. Very, very dope song and shit like that. I kind of wish that song was used earlier in the album. I don't know why, because I feel like it would have set more of a tone. Don't want to get more. The album is perfect the way it is, but if this song was like probably after, before Live and Let Die or after Live and Let Die, that would have been right directly after that. That would have been like more dope in my opinion. And the last song off this album is Two to the Head, featuring Ice Cube, Scarface, and Bushwick Bill. Okay, so basically, one to the head. Now this is a posse cut from heaven. Kool G Rap, Scarface, Ice Cube, Bushwick Bill, all killing this shit. And I mean, I'm amazed because all them MCs were at the prime at that time. Well, hold up, let me rephrase that. They were on top of the game at a time and shit. If you ask me who had the best verse, I would have to go with either Scarface or Kool G Rap. And they fucking ended this album like with a fucking bang or some shit. Alright. So overall, this is a classic album. Probably a lot of people have said this is the best. A lot of people have said this is their best album. Although I do love this album, this One Day Alive still gets the vote for best album. This album, don't get me wrong, this is a very dark, graphic album. And Kool G Rap really just found his style with this album. I don't know, he just went in, rapping like there's no tomorrow. The production complemented everything well with this album too. And also, what else about this album? This album, if it wasn't for this album, there won't be no Ready to Die, Reasonable Doubt, Illmatic. You can put Illmatic on that list. Probably Hell on Earth, Mobb Deep. Like, a lot of hip hop today would be garbage and shit. Wait, a lot of hip hop would be garbage, because today's hip hop, I'm not gonna start no discussion about that. Anyway, very good album. Believe it or not, this album, there was a point when this album was actually out of print shortly after it was released because Warner Brothers did not really promote this album well because I guess it was too graphic, and this too. Also because the fact that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Warner Brothers left Cold Chillin'. Warner Brothers and Cold Chillin' like split up too, and so you guys should know Cold Chillin' defunct in 1995. So yeah, very, very good album. Oh, this was actually re-released in 2008. And what's cool about the re-release version is the fact that It comes with like a bonus disc of like 12-inch versions, instrumentals, and the On the Run remix, the video version is on that album too. It is under, if I'm not mistaken, the Dirty Al Capone version. Or, is it? Either Al Capone version or the Untouchable version. Very, very good album. In my opinion, one of the most influential hip-hop albums of all time. And that's all the time I have. Stay tuned for more stuff. Peace.